we are in the Lithuanian classroom at Wayne State University.
Yes.
So actually we do not know about this classroom before you have introduced it. And I would like to know how you learned about it. How was your childhood? Were you interested in your Lithuanian roots from the beginning?
Actually, no, I was not. And there was some, growing up, I'm just going to be really honest, there was a level of being uncomfortable with an odd-sounding surname. Because everyone here is Smith, Jones, Brown, Green. People consistently pronounced, it was either Tubinis, it wasn't Tubinis, it wasn't pronounced. So there was difficulty growing up with the Lithuanian name. Of course, I'm very proud of it now because I have a better understanding of my heritage. But you know what? I have so many memories of my grandmother's Lithuanian food. She just kept everything simple. She lived in a home in southwest Detroit. Both my grandparents are buried in Woodmere Cemetery, which is not too far from one of our stops. And my grandparents were very hard workers. My grandfather came here. I've been digging around looking for their history. My grandfather came here from a small farming community to New York in 1912. And then probably by early 1913, he was in Detroit working for an auto factory, which was probably like living in a palace with a salary he had. And then my grandmother arrived again from another small farming community in October of 1924. My dad was born in 1929. He was the only kid. He decided not to raise us. He decided not to raise us with any Lithuanian names. I was one time considered to be named Ona. But he wanted his girls, myself and my two sisters, to grow up as Americans. And just as time progressed and I matured, after I researched my dad's Army career, he was in the Army from 1951 to 1953. I was looking at my grandparents' wedding certificate and I said, who is this other Tubinis that signed as a witness? And just through research, I found out it was my grandfather's older brother who came here in 1913 and died in 1944. He was very ill. No one ever talked about him, so it was a shock to hear that he had such a short time in the United States. But because of looking at the wedding certificate and looking at all my photos, it's like I'm on a mission to connect other Detroit Lithuanians with their past and to find out which unidentified faces are on maybe someone else's photo, maybe my grandparents are in someone else's photo. So as far as trying to connect all these people together, but just by researching Lithuania, Detroit Lithuanian, this is how I found this classroom. I think I found that there were scholarships at one time offered to Lithuanian descendants, and in fact, I think I probably heard about it, but I didn't go to Wayne State. I went to another university. But it's just been a joy and a privilege. It's been so humbling finding out about my grandmother's history, my grandparents' history, and even my father's history.
So, how many people are there like you in Detroit who are interested in their Lithuanian history, despite not being brought as Lithuanians?
Well, I'm guessing that I think you explained that there's different levels of interest because I'm not the most passionate. If I were more passionate, I would probably learn Lithuanian, learn how to speak it, and I would do more Lithuanian cooking, but we just don't eat that way. I think there's different levels. Some people are interested in joining the Facebook group that I manage, and they just want to look at the posts, and they don't want to contribute, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to encourage people to post their photos and to whatever articles they have, or if they have any artifacts like that are in this case right here, to take pictures of them and post them, because it stirs up memories, for what we've learned from our grandparents, or maybe we have in a storage box somewhere that we haven't really looked at, something like that.
How many people are in your group, for instance?
Well, we have just over 300, but there's people that are from Lithuania and other states in the United States. So it's not strictly I don't want to narrow it down to strictly Detroit because there's people that used to live in Detroit that were born here and have Lithuanian roots. But us Michigan people tend to move to Florida where it's warmer when we get older. So this group was started in January of this year. I think it's going to take time for it to grow.
So you've been an avid supporter of our project, and because of you in Detroit, we have no problems visiting all the sites, and you helped us to agree with all the sites. So what made you to support our project so much?
Well, I just love what you're doing. How could I tell you no? You know, I looked at your website. I've been looking at your Facebook pages. I says, I got to help these people. I just want to give back. You know, I mean, you represent the country where my grandparents came from. So I just want to give back. I want to give back to you.
Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I hope you'll try our map.
Yeah, I'm going to love it. Can't wait.